Excluded from my sister's wedding, I went on a trip. When everything went wrong, my entire family tried to contact me desperately. "You are exaggerating," they said. "It's just a wedding," my mother said. I was not invited to my own sister's wedding, so I decided to book a trip. Days later, my relatives began to blow up my cell phone with messages. I stood there, facing the screen, reading the message for the 5th time. "Hi, I just wanted to warn you that the list of guests had been completed, and we had to make some difficult cuts. I hope you understand. I love you." Difficult cuts. I was not a distant cousin. I was not an acquaintance of the family that they had not seen for years. I was her brother, the same sister that I helped in every crisis, in every loving disappointment, in every moment of doubt. I was there, and now I had been cut off as if it were any detail. I looked at the screen, feeling a slow growing pain in my chest. I almost laughed, because that could only be a mistake. I took the cell phone and called my mother. She answered in the second touch with an excited voice. "Hi, dear. How are you?" I did not waste time with a sharp conversation. I just received a message from Emily. She said that the list of guests had been completed, and I was not in it. There was a long enough pause to confirm what I already suspected. "Ah, dear," my mother sighed, in that tone that she always used to make me seem irrational. "It's just a wedding. Don't make a drama out of it. Just a wedding." I felt a hot knot, uncomfortable, forming in my stomach. "Are you serious?" I asked, with a strange calm. "Mom, I'm her brother. How come I wasn't invited to my own sister's wedding?" She made that TSK sound, as if I were a child making beer. "It's not personal. They needed to keep the list small." "Mom," I interrupted. "I just saw Emily's post on Instagram. She invited 150 people." Silence. And then a forced laugh. "Ah, you know how it is. Marriages are expensive. And maybe they thought you wouldn't mind staying out of it." "I wouldn't mind?" I felt like I had a punch in my stomach. "How come I wouldn't mind?" I replied. "Mom, I was there for Emily and everything. I helped her move twice when she lost her job. We paid half of her rent. I was the one who helped her get through the last term. And now, I'm not good enough to be present on her most special day?" "Oh, stop the drama," my mom replied with a sigh. "It's just one day. You're exaggerating." I gave a brief laugh, without any grace. Exaggerating? Right. I could already predict how this would end. I would complain. My mother would ignore me. Emily, at most, would apologize anyway. And then I would be expected to forgive and forget, as I always did, but not this time. Something inside me just broke. If I wasn't worthy of being included, then okay, I wouldn't be. I hung up the phone without saying anything and started browsing my cell phone. If I wouldn't go to Emily's wedding, then I would be somewhere much better. I would travel. And the more I thought, the more anger I felt. I wasn't the type to be offended by anything. I had already let a lot go by. Emily had already forgotten my birthday several times. She only called me when she needed something, and my mom always expected me to be understanding. Emily did what she wanted, and no one said anything. But that was a completely new level of contempt. I wasn't going to sit at home while my sister and the rest of the family played happily ever after without me. If I wasn't important enough to be included, then it wouldn't be important enough to be present when they needed me either. I grabbed my laptop and started looking for flights. If Emily could have the happiest day of her life, then I would have the best week of mine. It took less than an hour to plan everything. I booked a 5-star resort in the Caribbean, with everything included. Suite with sea view, spa services, and access to a private beach. I always thought a trip like this would be too expensive, but not this time. I wasn't just taking a vacation. I was sending a message. When the wedding weekend arrived, I was already on a plane, drinking champagne in first class, and I made a point of posting a photo, legs stretched out, drink in hand, with the caption, "I was cut off from the guest list, but I think I'll survive." The reactions came almost instantly. Some cousins sent emojis laughing. My aunt, the only sensible one in the family, commented, "Well done, I should have taken you." But the best reaction? It was from my mother. She sent 3 messages in a row. "Where are you? Are you really going to miss your sister's wedding because of that? It's being meek. Meek? I had barely started. I replied with a photo of the beach, white sand, crystal blue sea, and a caption as if it were a postcard. Perfect view. After that, I turned off my cell phone. I wasn't going to let them make me feel guilty. Not this time. For the first time in many years, I wasn't putting my family first. I was putting myself. And that was liberating. When I arrived in paradise, any trace of regret had already evaporated. As soon as I left the airport, the hot ocean breeze enveloped me with the smell of salt and tropical flowers. A private car was waiting for me, an elegant black SUV with cold towels and bottled water in the back seat. That, yes, was better than any wedding. While the car was driving along the coast, I could only think I made the right choice. Back home, my family was probably busy with the preparations for the big day. My mother must be making up excuses to justify my absence. My sister, probably laughing at the godmothers, without thinking about me for a second. But here, I wasn't treated as a detail. Here, I was the priority. My priority. The resort seemed like a dream. The Saguenay had huge palm trees growing inside an open structure that let the sea breeze in freely, and the kind of service where you already get a cocktail before even checking in. The room, surreal. Windows from the floor to the ceiling, a private porch, and the most beautiful king-size bed I've ever seen in my life. I threw my things in a corner, went out on the porch, and just breathed it all in. Just to provoke even more, I took a picture of the landscape and posted it with the caption, "When a door closes, another opens." Preferably for a beach suite with unlimited daisies. I knew this was going to reach my family, and, honestly, I was hoping it would. Because, at one point, I wanted them to know what it's like to be left out, and I was just getting started. The first whole day of my trip was simply fantastic. I started with breakfast in the room. Soft pancakes, fresh fruits, and a coffee so good that it ruined any other I've ever had before. And after that, I spent the whole day doing exactly what I wanted. No responsibilities, no family dramas, just me, the ocean, and a schedule focused exclusively on my pleasure. In the afternoon, I was lying on a swing next to the infinity pool, with martini in my hand, watching the waves. From time to time, I checked my cell phone, not to know about my family, but to follow the reactions to my travel posts. And the comments were pure gold. My cousin Jake, "Brother, where are you?" Aunt Lisa, "Now you're just showing off." A college friend, face to face, calls me next time. And then came a notification that made me smile. "Emily saw your post." Ah, now she was paying attention. I could even imagine the scene, in the bride's room, drinking cheap sparkling wine, scrolling Instagram, and facing me living the best week of my life while she was messing with the wedding stress. Excellent. I leaned on the chair, took another sip of the drink, and thought, "Enjoy your special day, bro. I hope it's everything you've always wanted." But then, when the sun began to set, something strange happened. My cell phone started to explode.